2023 Alaro, or 328 degrees. Alaro is one of our youngest wines, meaning we haven't produced this for as many vintages as some of the other wines. It is a bit of an egoistic wines for those of the team, Sarah and me, Julia, John and Vivi as well, that lives here in the south. Because as much as we love red wines, then the big, bold, heavy, richer red wines are very difficult to drink in summer. We still love red wines, so we wanted to make a red wine that was beautiful and delightful to drink even in the hottest summer month here. Hence, we made a slightly early harvested Grenache base with no oak. Then you really get the fruit and the freshness out in the Grenache. And then to add a bit more complexity, it has always been a proportion of Merlot, but in barrel. Because the wine here is blended at the same time as our white wines and rosé in the spring. The wine, the Merlot part, has only been in barrel for 4 to 6 months, meaning a very little touch of oak. Now, what the complexity does here is enormous, and this year we really, I think, really got it. Last year we were not as precise, maybe, on the selection of the barrels. This year we went through, I think, 6 intents or something crazy to find the right barrels, not only the right proportion of Grenache versus Merlot. We ended up at 83% Grenache and 17% of the Merlot, but the selection of barrels. Now you will have, after knowing us, know that the barrels can be highly different. Even if it's the same grape variety, the same plot in the vineyards, everything, the barrels taste very differently. So we ended up with a selection of 4 different barrels. I think it's number 8, no, it's number 16, number 19, number 41, and number 69, I think. But they added different things in, but that was really a puzzle. So, Grenache with some barreled aged Merlot, which really just smells like, it reminds me of my childhood in Denmark somehow. It's a Scandinavian forest in the summer, that sweetness, wild strawberries, apple blossom, apples, peaches, also some blueberries. It's really just berries. But this is how Grenache smells when it has not been in barrel. And then you get a bit more complexity, a bit more of nuttiness, and this is from the oak-aged part of Merlot. So the same joyfulness as last year. So the crunchy fruit, the lightness, the acidity, it's gentle acidity, but it's definitely there. The very, very mild tannins, absolute juiciness and drinkability. But with more complexity this year. You have a much sort of wider range of flavors on the palate, a bit more of structure, which also means that you can still enjoy Alaro as it's always meant to be on its own. It's a wine that I love to just open a glass of whenever I feel like it. That happens a lot. Also when I'm cooking, when I just have spontaneous friends coming by for a glass on the balcony, maybe a bit of snacks. It's one of my favorite wines when I don't want to have to think about what matches food and wine. Sometimes some great food, great wine, great company is like the best thing without thinking and complicating things too much. So, but this year it definitely also can go with some food. I'm thinking beef, but I'm thinking raw beef, a very lightly cooked beef. So a steak tartare would be awesome here. Really, really good with the sweetness, with the spice. But also a piece of sirloin, just quickly rolled in ground coffee beans, so coarsely ground coffee beans. It's actually a really great thing for meat. And then just flash fried on the sides, cut into a tataki style. And then I'm thinking a miso, tahin kind of dressing, and wow, it's a perfect dish for this. Even with a bit of pistachio, chopped pistachio on top. Yeah, I'm gonna cook tonight. Really, really, really beautiful version of Alaro. So fresh, and still enjoyable, but a bit more complex than the other years. The glass I'm using here is, of course, Riedel again. As always, it's the Cabernet Merlot glass that they make. So, of course, there's Merlot in here, no Cabernet. But the glass really brings out both the fruit and the spice and the happiness of the wine.